My name is Versandra Kennebrew, and I'm the author of Thank God for the Shelter, Memoirs of a Homeless Healer. I'm pleased to finally share my story of triumph over adversity with people in shelters all around the world. As a former resident in a shelter, I know that when we feel destitute and are overcome with hopelessness, we cannot imagine the abundant support, wealth, and love that surrounds us. We seek this invisible something as we are clouded by the shadows of mountains and storms that seem overwhelming. As we search for a ray of sunshine, we grow weary and sometimes faint. With much humility, I will share how I made it through the darkest days of my life. You will have the opportunity to practice exercises that gave me insight and strength to overcome the depression and addictions that led me to the shelter and empowered me to attain a level of success I never thought possible. I've also supplied you with some of my favorite words of inspiration that lifted me when I was down. In addition, you will find areas to help you create your own affirmations. In this memoir, I hope to inspire you to never give up. Whether you live in a shelter of a soon-to-be foreclosed home, your parents' basement, or a car that you've been hiding from the repo man in a cemetery, I want to inspire you to unimaginable heights. I want to introduce you to your divine self like you've never known before. As you listen to this short but powerful story, be open and prepared for a new perspective on living an abundant life. In addition to the exercises and affirmations in this book, you may find solace in journaling or writing down your thoughts in a notebook. So grab a pen or pencil and a notepad and keep them close by so that you can complete the exercises included in this interactive audiobook. Before we begin, I'd like you to repeat this statement after me. Today, I promise to utilize my time in the shelter to gain strength and knowledge and to be supported. I accept this temporary reprieve as a period of reflection and personal and spiritual development. I am committed to looking within for the answers I seek. I am eager to be whole again so that I can be a light to others experiencing life transitions.
Chapter 1. Find a Place of Refuge. I remember that cold winter night like it was yesterday. I was in the relaxation studio where I provided massages for the hotel guests. I looked over my $1,000 monthly invoice and wondered if the repo man was going to snatch my car while I was sleeping. How could I get to a client's home to provide a massage if I didn't have a car? If they repossessed my car, not only would I still have to pay the debt for a car I didn't have, I would also mess up my dad's credit because he co-signed for me. I thought about how embarrassed I would be if I didn't pay the bill and they put me out of the hotel. For a brief moment, my mind even wandered to the day that I almost drove off a bridge to end the horrible feeling of anxiety boiling inside of me.
You're listening to a sample of Chapter 1 of author Versandra Kennebrew's book, Thank God for the Shelter. Your organization may qualify for a 40% discount off this life-changing book by calling 866-522-3453. And now here's the conclusion of Chapter 1 of Thank God for the Shelter.
My tears were my prayers because I could not come up with the right words to say. I remembered other times when my groans had been heard by God and doors opened. I desperately needed that intercession again. I just wanted to sleep and be taken away from all the madness of this world. A few days later, my call to the shelter was returned. I was told there wasn't any space at Peggy's Place, a facility for women and children within walking distance of my business. I was devastated and went to Peggy's Place in hopes of pleading my case. I tried to maintain my composure, but I could not hold back the tears. I was at wit's end. I could not handle any more disappointment or bad news. Something had to give. I thank God for the person who reviewed my case and stamped it approved. I had already sold most of my possessions. Everything I owned was in a few boxes in my hotel room. All I needed to do was pick them up and prepare to start over again. But first, I had to turn in my car. It was December 2003. I walked up the front stairs into the lobby of the shelter where a woman directed me to sign in. My body was shaking with fear. I had no idea what to expect. I had only seen shelters on television and in movies, and none of them looked like places I would want to live. She directed me up a flight of stairs and told me to turn right and go to the end of the hallway. My room was the last door on the right. Room number 205 would be my home for the next 9 months.
Thank God for the shelter. Exercise 1. Think of a time in your life when you were in need of shelter. Now reflect on factors that contributed to your need for others to provide you with security, a covering, or sanctuary. I'm sharing 5 factors that contributed to my homelessness. I want you to make a list of 5 factors in addition to the 5 I've already shared, and then check whether the factors on your list could have been controlled by you or not. It's important to be honest with yourself because that's the first step to recognizing or gaining control of your life. The 5 factors that contributed to my homelessness were downsizing. That factor I didn't have control over. Second factor, limited cash flow. I did have control over that. Third factor, emotional instability. I had control over that. Fourth factor, divorce. I did not have control over that. And the final factor, addiction. I had control over that. Thank God for the shelter. Affirmation 1. Repeat the following affirmations out loud 3 times a day for the next few days. See, feel, and enjoy each experience as you say the affirmation. My home is a safe haven. I enjoy managing the seeds of my labor. I love living, thriving, and giving. Now, write 3 affirmations in the present tense that speak to your desired sense of security or enthusiasm for living.